I think it's empathy. I think it's being able to feel. I really rely on that, being able to feel my way through situations um, and knowing if it's right for me, if it's a yes or a no. And that's really driven, my help guide my decision making my whole life.
Hi, welcome to Voices for Impact. My name is Danielle Mensing, founder of Voices for Impact, and today I'm chatting with my friend Amanda Hughes. Amanda is a Syracuse native and is founder and owner of two local businesses you might have heard of, the ice cream stand in Clinton Square, and her newest venture is Jaynes Collective, a collaborative work space open to all with a thoughtful focus on women. She is also founder of the November Project Syracuse and a Lululemon ambassador. So regardless of any endeavor, Amanda is focused on bringing people together in fun and creative ways. So thank you so much, Amanda, for being on with me today.
Oh my gosh, thank you. This is so exciting. Really happy to be here, and I love what you're doing, and I can't wait to see who else you bring on.
Yes, thank you. And so let's start out. What excites you about starting or creating your own business venture?
Gosh, everything. I've found that I'm really drawn to the creative and the creation piece. I love the beginning, starting something from scratch. And I also found that I love, helping businesses or organizations or people who are established and kind of helping them shift gears and elevate and maybe take it to the next level when they've kind of run their course where they are. So both of those involve a lot of creative energy and just a lot of fun, opportunity. So that's that's definitely what excites me, and just having the freedom to try new things and to explore. I'm very curious.
Yeah.
So I think that, lends itself to starting businesses, ventures, you name it.
How did you get started with the ice cream stand? How did that come to be as a business you wanted to start?
It was an opportunity that kind of presented itself, and I'm really big on staying in the flow and recognizing opportunity. And ice cream in particular was really exciting because it is really fun and playful and just fits my personality really well. And I like also the challenge and the opportunity, again, to shift people's mindset about that food and some of the connotations that it conjures up for people, and just letting them know that it's okay to indulge, as we say.
And it's turned into such a community space too. You have comedy, you have live music. Um, you must be so proud of how it's just turned into more than just a place you can get ice cream.
Yeah, and that was always the vision. What I'm really proud of is the community, because it wouldn't be anything without the people that support it and that engage and, come and spend time, energy, money there. So that's what really makes me happy, is that people feel connected and, um, they choose to be there and participate in those ways. I always laugh because before I even thought about the ice cream flavors I would have, I called up my friend Kathleen Mason, who has K Mace Productions, and I said, I want live music and I want to do a series. How can we make that happen? So that space was kind of just a placeholder for community. Yes, we were always going to have ice cream, but it was really about bringing people together and doing, some different things, some fun things. And um, I love, connecting with other business owners or people in the community to collaborate on some of these ventures.
And you seem like you're very much a put yourself out there, start something, start a movement within the community, like being the founder of the November Project Syracuse and bringing people together that love running. And so how do you juggle all of that? There's so many different things you're doing, and now with Jaynes Collective too.
Oh yeah, throw that in the mix. I was just talking about that this morning with with some of the people from Lululemon about, I heard one of their ambassadors, I sat in on a meditation she was doing on Instagram, and she had never done that live. And she said, just start before you're ready, just dive in. And that I had heard that message several times before, and that's what kind of kicked it into gear for me. And I thought, I'm just going to start Jaynes. This is really the time, and I'm just going to go for it. But yeah, I love being with people. So this time is a little challenging for all of us in so many ways. Uh, but yeah, I've learned that that's really what it's all about at the core. I've started sports teams, programs, and these businesses, and um, what it really is about for me is bringing people together. And I found that that's what I'm passionate about, and it's a really valuable skill. It seems like a lot, but I always say I'm not doing any more than you or anyone else. They all just seem to align for me, and so it makes it easy, and I really love what I get to do. So it's easier to juggle all those things when
When
they
you
bring you
love it.
joy. Yeah.
That's a word that I've heard you say a lot lately when we've had conversations, the word joy. You have so
Oh,
much joy lately. And that's such a place like I think everybody wants to be. And it's so hard sometimes when different things happen in life and everyone goes through challenges. And I'm sure you faced your own challenges, and running a business is challenges,
yeah.
but you're at a place of joy.
Yeah, and it takes work, and it's a mindset, and I tend to I think it's just combination of DNA, the environment, and then the choices that I've made. I really tend to dwell in this place of possibility and of positivity. I just found it's a much better place to be, but that certainly doesn't mean that I don't have down days and I'm not you know, um, challenged. I really think about the opportunity, and it's interesting because working with Jamie Weisberg, who is founder of Northbound and is working as a resident coach at Jaynes Collective, has been talking a lot in her happier hour sessions about obviously positivity and a positive mindset. um, and the brain works better from that positive mindset, and it's actually more open, and you can see more possibility. It's a distinct way of thinking, I guess, and I had to learn and kind of cultivate that, but it's really about choice. And I think experiences are they're never wasted, and there's always something or some reason for them, and that's what I try and hold on to, and that brings a lot of peace, and then ultimately joy.
So talk to me a little bit about Jaynes Collective.
Oh gosh, I am so thrilled. And Jamie, who I mentioned before, she's our chief collaborator and resident coach. She was really instrumental, obviously, in getting this off the ground at this moment and shifting gears to this virtual space, because it is a physical space, and that is the anchor, and the draw. I was really excited about bringing people into this space. It's meant to bring people together. It's a collaborative workspace, again, a place of community and connection where people can create, and especially women. That's something that has grown out of the ice cream stand, the business that I had there, and some of the conversations and the people and again opportunities that I've had. I really realized that I can help and be of service in this way, certainly with advice and experience from all my personal experience, but from a professional standpoint with the business. But also just creating a place where people, and like I said, especially women, feel comfortable gathering and asking questions, just having conversation that they might not be able to have other places, and exploring ideas and conversations around some really deep issues that maybe you wouldn't have otherwise.
I joined the Wednesday workshop this week, and just the energy of being online at Zoom, it'll be so much different, but kind of the same when it's in person, but it's still, you're getting a sense of the community and the support that Jaynes Collective is really trying to create out of the Wednesday workshops, and the knowledge that you get. Like Jamie was talking about habits, and what is your habit, and how can you is it a good habit or a bad habit that you want to break? And I just think that's so great that you're bringing conversations like that to Jaynes Collective and to the people that you're trying to reach.
Oh yeah, and I'm so glad you joined, and I'm so glad you feel that, because I've heard that from several other people that have joined, and it's great to think that, yeah, we can create this energy now, and just imagine when we can come together in person.
Can you talk about some of the other things that Jaynes Collective is doing besides Wednesday workshops?
Yeah, so we are open Monday through Friday, and we are offering a study hall every day. We think it's important, and it's a good way for people to kind of connect and get a little taste of some of the people and just some of the energy around it. And we know people have work to do every day, so why not do it together? I've found that to be the most productive hour and a half of my day. So that's offered every day, different times. So check the date. We also have Monday Motivation, which is a way to step into the week with grounding and centering, and just really focusing on the intention for the week. We don't want to contribute, to the stress and anxiety. We want to eliminate, or at least alleviate some of that, and get you set up to really step forward, like I said, with some intention. The Wednesday workshops are wonderful. Jamie does a happier hour on Fridays, and that's all about boosting your mood, and positive mindset, and just restoring and revitalizing, all based on her background in positive psychology. And Thursdays, we have a collective conversation, which is becoming one of my favorite things, because it's a member-led conversation, and it's really meant to highlight the individuals in the collective and give them a chance to share their expertise, and also connect in a deeper way to the other members. You can visit jaynescollective.com if you want to check out more, but those are the main sessions right now. And some of those will translate and we'll keep, in the physical space. And then we'll obviously offer more things and different things when we get to move. But it's on Montgomery Street, and I'm really excited. I won't share too many details because I want to unveil and welcome everyone when they can come and see it together.
Well, so stay tuned, everybody. Exciting things in store. It's been a great time for businesses like yours to pivot and find different ways to reach new audiences, like you were saying before. So that's really exciting.
There's always opportunity, and the ice cream stand is about to reopen this month, but did not open yet because of the circumstances. And because I chose to stay safe and remain closed, I really had an opportunity to launch Jaynes. So it'll be interesting when they're both going, but yeah, talk about pivoting and really shifting gears. I never thought I wouldn't be scooping ice cream right now.
What advice could you give to somebody, maybe a woman, who is trying to start her own business, or discover what her passion or purpose is? What advice would you give to women?
Oh, take the time. No one knows you better than you, and you have everything you need. You have all the tools you need. You might need to refine some skills, maybe learn some new skills, but I really believe that inside we have all the tools and that we know the answers. What my advice would be, and I think what we all need to do at times, is give ourselves the time to see, uncover, unearth hear those things, because we might not be aware or might not be able to figure out what it is, what that nugget like really boils down to, what it is you love and what you want to do for that business, and how you can use that passion and what you feel your purpose is to deliver, a product or a service. So I think really allowing yourself to the time to discover that, because you have to be really, really centered and focused, very anchored in your mission and your why. I always talk about the why, and I always come back to the why. It's really important. And when you're steady there, and that doesn't mean you might swing or fall or stumble still, but you do find your way back to your center. And if you're really stable there, then you can clear a path.
I think that is like a really big statement. You said, always go back to your why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I always think about that. And I mentioned I'm curious earlier. I'm always asking why. And sometimes it really aggravates people because I force them to probe and to go deeper. And I do that for myself, but not everyone's ready to do that when I ask them or in that moment. But it is really important. And it's something that you're going to have to do constantly, as life goes on, as you evolve, as things change, your circumstances, your why could change, and that's okay. But just being aware and knowing what that is.
What do you think is the skill or characteristic about you that has helped you achieve any goals or dreams you've set out to achieve?
I think it's empathy. I think it's being able to feel. I really rely on that, being able to feel my way through situations, and knowing if it's right for me, if it's a yes or a no. And that's really driven, my help guide my decision making my whole life. And I also think with a sports background, I've just been very accustomed to hard work, setting goals, achieving them, failing, having to, start over and over and over again. So I think those are probably two of the biggest skills that have helped me achieve, success, I guess.
What do you wish you would have known when you started out?
I think when you start, a business, and you're just starting out, you feel like you have to say yes to everyone and everything. And I really wish I knew that that's not the case, and you don't have to. And again, that goes back to knowing your why and being really secure in that and not deviating. But when you're starting out and you're looking for business and you're looking to make money, you might say yes to every opportunity or any opportunity, and it might not be in line with your mission or your personal values. And then it's not great for the business. Personally, you feel drained. So I wish I knew that. And there's a great book, actually, one of my favorites, Essentialism. And that's all about the power of choice and what you're really saying yes to, what you're really saying no to. And now I feel a lot more in control of the choices and more comfortable, with those no's. And I understand that no's are in fact necessary, even if it's just to save time and energy, or just reset. You can't run around and do everything.
It's a good point. You can't.
Important. Yeah.
It is important to rest. And I think that people that are driven like you and like me, and other people that I'm interviewing, thought leaders, are high achievers, and we're constantly going, and what's the next thing I can do, and sometimes place the value on the next thing. And you might even forget the hurdles and everything that you have already accomplished because you're already focused on the next thing that you have to do.
Yeah,
But it's important to yeah, just take a moment and rest.
yeah,
Resting is still productive.
exactly, because you're taking care of yourself, and if you don't do that, then you can't continue to work on all of the other things you want to work on. And I think it's important to celebrate, your victories too. Sometimes when you're so driven and you're so goal focused and thinking about the future, you neglect or think that you aren't able to celebrate in the moment. And that's really important, because you do work really hard. And it's important to acknowledge that and say, this is a win, however large or small, and be excited and with that for at least a moment.
Are there any resources that have helped you on your journey?
Gosh, mostly human resources, mostly the people that I've been connected with. And specifically, I'll say most recently, the biggest resource that I never really thought about until lately was a business coach. And I worked with Michael Scrow, and if he's not on your list, he definitely should be. Coach Scrow is phenomenal, and he was a big resource and something that really helped me, like I said, personally and professionally.
Last question is, how do you define success?
Oh, I love this question. For me, like everything else, it's a combination of many factors. But for me, it boils down to happiness, health, and helping. The first thing is, am I happy? And we all know instantly if we're happy. Health, can I do the things that I want to do? Am I strong? Active? Am I taking care of myself? And then am I, how am I helping? And am I being of service? And when I can say yes and check those three kind of boxes, that's when I feel successful. Yes.
And Jaynes Collective, you can go to jaynescollective.com.
You can purchase a membership. You can find out all about the sessions that we're offering. We're starting full memberships in June, and we'll look to really build this collective.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on Voices for Impact. You've really brought in a lot of insight and advice to women and people that are just starting in business, and just a little insight into who you are and Jaynes Collective and everything. So thank you for sharing.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I love what this is going to do and is doing. And I just really appreciate the opportunity to share such a fun conversation with you.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And thank you to those that are viewing. Voices for Impact is on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So please follow and like us to stay connected. And I'll see you next time on Voices for Impact. Bye, everyone.